I'm Dominique, Senior Consultant for iHouse Web. Welcome to my channel where we talk about your website and how you can optimize it to really be able to drive traffic and convert leads. But not all websites are built the same. Real estate websites have a very specific structure, and iHouse Web has been building them for 25 years, guys, longer than Luxury Presence, longer than any of the other companies out there. So when you are deciding which company you want to go with, there's a ton of information and it can feel a little bit overwhelming. So today's video, we're going to delve into some of the other platforms that are available to you, pros and cons of some of those, why they are where they're at, and what you can do as far as your website and your next step to make sure that you're able to compete in 2026. And if you find this information helpful, then do me a favor, hit that subscribe button so that I can continue to make more free courses just like this one. And if you have questions, go ahead and leave your comments. You can also send them in and you can book an appointment with us as well. So let's get into the video. So Luxury Presence is popular among some top brokerages like Compass, Serhant, and so what Luxury Presence has done exceptionally well is branding. The founder of Luxury Presence is actually a tech founder. I think he did some work in the marketing realm of real estate, but he never worked as a real estate agent or anything of that nature. He's a tech founder. So he built an AI platform that utilizes a lot of bells and whistles, but more importantly, it looks really beautiful. So why does any agent step outside of a free site provided through their brokerage? Because you want to build your own brand. You are your business. So you want to have a personal website that you can control because you can control those leads, you control the traffic, you control your brand. When agents are looking for their own website, they're looking at different tools. Is there a CRM that's utilized in it? Can I bring my social media into this? Is it more importantly going to drive traffic, and is it going to look nice? So what happens with Luxury Presence, and a lot of agents will fall into this trap of, I need to spend thousands of dollars on a website. You absolutely do not need to do that. A lot of agents think that they need to spend $1,000 on a prestige luxury type website. Now, if you are working with a higher end luxury clientele, you want a brand to be reflective of that. I'm not saying that you don't, but here's the truth. Most agents don't need to pay thousands and thousands of dollars to get this presence online. You can do this for a fraction of the cost, guys. Again, one thing that Luxury Presence does really well is branding. They've got a lot of investment backing partners. I believe they're backed by companies like Zillow and other organizations. So they have a lot of money to invest into the platform. But what happens with that? Well, they tier out their packages. That's why it can get expensive, because they put the most valuable part in the most expensive package. So you're going to pay like $5,000 to have a safe search when you absolutely don't need to do that. Now, you can have a beautiful website. You can still accomplish that while optimizing it at the same time. So don't fall into that trap of thinking just because my broker said I have to go with this company, that is the company that you have to go with. Make sure you're asking the right questions, and you can even do a Google search. If you've already decided to go with Luxury Presence, step into the mind of the buyer, go into a Google search. This is how you're going to test it, and put in what property types you work with. So for example, if you're working with the single family properties in West Bellevue, and let's say one area of that is 400,000 to 500,000. So you want to Google single family homes in West Bellevue, 400,000 to 500,000. And if you don't show up there, your site is not built correctly. That's one thing about Luxury Presence. No matter how beautiful your site is, a beautiful site only works if people can find it. And that's why your online presence is so crucial. Building your brand is important, but remember, buyers and sellers who are searching online are looking for a home. They want to be connected with the listing. So do you have instant access to the MLS listings on your site? Or are you using a third-party plugin? Remember, a beautiful site is great, but it only works if people can find it, and Google can't interact with your site like a human. So you want to make sure you have data on there that is fully integrated into the platform in a way that Google can see it. Now, you have other platforms like Sync. Sync is a powerhouse for lead gen. I've heard mixed things about Sync, but you can use Sync for lead gen. They do like a subscription package for your site, and then also you can pay for your ads as well. One thing that iHouse does a little bit differently is your ad budget is your full ad budget. So you will invest, let's say $100, $500 into your Google ads. There's no management fees. That's completely retained versus any other company that is taking a management fee. Let's say, for example, they might take 10% or 25%. Then you can take that 10% or 25% and actually reinvest it into more of an ad budget. So you have to look at different options here because there are other platforms like Brivity and Ylopo, and you can use those tools typically for a CRM. I speak with a lot of agents that like the CRM functionality of those tools, Ylopo and Brevity. With those sites, typically there are not saved searches built out around it. Okay, so nobody out in the industry is able to actually build the hyperlocal saved searches that actually attract traffic to your site in a way that iHouse can do it. iHouse has been building websites for 25 years, and they're the silent beast, I call them. iHouse Web beats flashy brands like Luxury Presence, beats Sierra Interactive, beats Sync because of the value that it actually provides that you're getting. The only reason they're not as popular is because they don't invest as much into marketing. So they're really like grassroots, balls to the wall, get out there, dial, dial, dial. But they are superior, guys, in terms of how they're able to present your website. Remember, your website is your storefront and you have inventory. If nobody can see the inventory that you have, people are not going to reach out to you. And you might have a strong referral network. You might even be maybe 80, 90% referral based. But it's not always sustainable. It's not sustainable forever to have a referral based business. And if you have a referral based business, then, consider yourself in a really great position. So how can you utilize those referrals and couple that with the business that you have? Well, you get a website that reflects you so that when your current referrals, they still go online and do their due diligence, guys. I work with a lot of high net worth individuals. You probably do as well. And you know that they still go and do their due diligence online. They will check you out and verify what you have done because they want to see what you could do for them. So it only makes sense that you present yourself in the best way possible. iHouse Web is able to do that because the days of using keywords and meta tags only are gone. You need to make sure that you have data built into the pages that wrap around your IDX and actually show you as the expert in your space. So you don't want to fall into the trap of spending thousands and thousands of dollars on a site because it looks good. You want to make sure that you're digging into it. Are your areas of market front of mind? Are they showing up in Google? Because that's how you compete with Zillow, with Redfin, with a lot of these homes.com, a lot of these other portals. The only way to do that is not appeal to everybody. You want to have hyper targeted visibility for your area. Here's 4 reasons why iHouse Web is, I feel, a better product than any of the others out there. They have a better success rate as far as getting you Google ranking at a fraction of the cost. There are no contracts, so you're not held and forced into a 6-month, a year long. Some of these companies have 2-3 year long contracts, guys. Hold up a second. You want me to sign a contract for 2-3 years? What if something happens? What if you don't do your job? What if something goes wrong, which typically happens? And then what? You're stuck in a contract. Or what I see most often, accounts get sent to collections because agents are fed up with talking, getting the runaround on items that need to be fixed on the site. So they say, you know what, I'm done with this. And now the account is in collections. You don't have to do that. So there's no contract jail with iHouse Web. It's just a monthly agreement. And you actually get a site that's going to work. You get a professional site at a fraction of the cost. Costs range between $149.98 to $399.98. That's it, guys. And then there's a minimal charge if your MLS charges a pass-through fee. If your MLS does charge a pass-through fee, that's typically $5, $10, $20, $25, or $30. Very rarely have I seen a few where it's more than that, and that's typically if your MLS does not have an agreement, but most do. So typically you're looking at $149.98 to about $399 depending on the package that you select. But most agents will get $149.98 package and you get everything all inclusive, guys, and elite support service. iHouse Web has one of the best reputations for support, and you know how important it is to be able to get a hold of support. When I started building websites years ago, I started with GoDaddy and I loved their support. And I've also been with other companies like Profit Lifter, and they have a terrible support team. Just awful. Departments that don't talk to each other. It's just an awful experience. So that is not something that you want to deal with. iHouse Web is superior when it comes to their customer service. You can check out their reviews online. So don't fall into that trap, because companies like Luxury Presence, like Bold Trail, like Lofty, which is formerly Chime, they spend millions and millions of dollars on marketing, on influencer marketing. They have a ton of money to do this. iHouse Web, we're very much referral based, rely on word of mouth. We have an excellent reputation, and that's what's allowed us to sustain for 25 years for so long. It has all the tools inclusive that you need: a CRM, you can link your social media, but remember, all of these tools you want to utilize. So if you're using Google Maps, which you wanted to use to appear in like real estate agent near me type searches, if you're using Google Maps, if you're using social media, those are all tools that you want to bring in to your site. Because remember, if you don't have a site that Google can actually rank and index, no matter how much money you throw at it, no matter what you put on there, it doesn't matter if nobody can actually see it. If you want to rank in Google for local searches and give buyers and sellers a really great experience while building your brand and retaining your leads with a built-in CRM system, then iHouse Web is definitely the way to go. It is the superior choice for your wallet for sure. If you have more questions on what you need to do with your site, or you want to have a quick site review, then make sure that you're clicking the link below and scheduling your one-on-one with one of our advisors. And if you found this information helpful, then do me a favor and go and hit that subscribe button so I can continue to make more free courses and trainings just like this one. See you next time.